I'm really tired today. That's like most days, but I'm really tired today. What? What? That was weird. Uh, yeah, I'm pretty tired today. Pretty tired. So yesterday we moved on with the rest of chapter 7. Got to the end of that. It was pretty quick. It was just a boss fight. And then like everything goes to pot. You know, you go back to your home after you like take over the final territory, and they're like, go celebrate, go report your victory. And so we go report our victory, and they're all like, everyone's dead. So something went down. Something went down. And everybody died. Some entities came out, started slaughtering people. So we went in to whatever the dungeon was. We went up to the crystal, the vermilion crystal, and they were like, become a lessee or become human. And I was like, cool, we'll become a lessee. And so we went to like defend the crystal, I guess, from the impending doom. And we got, you just like follow along with things, and then it's like endless waves of enemies. I killed them for like an hour, it seemed, and like nothing happened. So we just kind of got stuck. So and then when all your party members die, because I could have kept going for what seemed like forever. I felt like I was unkillable. We got there, and it was just like an endless wave of enemies. So I had my party get wiped out, and then there was like this little cutscene, and they're like, oh, you're just perpetuating the cycle, and that was it. So apparently we chose wrongly. They could have been like, it's a bad end. No. They didn't do a good job of portraying like, hey, like you made the wrong choice here. It was just here we are, just like sitting here, just like endlessly fighting enemies. But there should have been like some dialogue or something that like hinted at the fact that like this was the wrong path, this is the wrong choice, you did the wrong thing. Like the characters could have said something that like led you to believe that this was like the wrong thing, you know? They also could have like let you like save your game over it and then put you back at like your last save point. That said, okay, bad ending 1 achieved, you know? They could have done that kind of thing. But no, it was just endless battle that you have to game over for and then restart the final dungeon. The final dungeon, at least up to where we got, had no save points, so we gotta go do that over again. So I don't know what happens, but we just, apparently we made the wrong choice. We made the wrong choice. We gotta go in and like, rather than choose become lessee, we choose become human. Choose become human. So that's what we got going on today. I don't know how long the final dungeon, which I'm assuming is the final dungeon, what we got left. I don't think you should do that. Cereal seems like a bad idea. Boom did it. What'd you do? What did you do? Congratulations on doing it. What'd you do? How you doing, Fariel? Happy Wednesday. What'd you do? You redeemed the VIP? Did you? I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I don't believe you. You just saying stuff. You just saying stuff. I also changed the price. I did it yesterday. I raised it to 750,000. No, you really did? It was 400K? No, I changed it yesterday. Like, I definitely changed it. I 100% changed it. I absolutely did. It was still 400K. It must have not saved what I did, because I definitely changed it. I boosted it up to 750,000. You 100% redeemed it and it shows. I don't know why it's not showing here. Let me go check. Let me go check my my redemptions here. It doesn't show in my chat right now for some reason. Let me go check. Yeah, no, it says here on Twitch, yeah, it says you redeemed it. Okay. I don't know why. I swear to God that, I did save it. I did hit save. Like, I know how to edit things. I 100% hit save. I know how to do it. For whatever reason, it didn't change it. 750K would take forever. I know. I know. But I won't hold it against you. I won't hold it against you. I did change it, though. Which means I'm gonna go change it now. Again. But I hit save. I don't know why it didn't save it. That made me unhappy. Because, like, I was like, finally I remembered to do it. Because I've been meaning to, like, raise it up for so damn long. And I kept forgetting. Yeah. Alright. 750. 1, 2, 3. Because you either hit cancel or save. I hit save. I don't know why it didn't do it. Yeah, now it's 750. You know, I didn't check it afterwards. To make sure, because I just assumed that it would do it. Yep, there it is. Okay. Now it changed. Yeah, I see it now. I swear to God that I changed it this morning. When I cut stream, one of the first things I did was went and changed it. But no, it's cool, you know? For whatever reason it didn't save it, that's alright. You got it at a huge discount. You got it at a huge discount. Congratulations. You got it at like 65% off. No, I was like 85% off. It almost doubled. We're 50K short of doubling it. So there you go. Yeah. Well, just behave. See, now, Fariel, that you're a VIP, I can hold something against you. So you gotta behave, or else you lose the VIP badge. And you're gonna have to save up another $750,000. You gotta behave. It does say a random amount of time. Yeah, it's up to me. It's completely up to me. I was thinking of adding a redemption where people could save up and remove somebody's VIP badge, but I thought that was kind of mean, but I also find it kind of funny. Like, man, that would really suck. You spend all that time saving up. Oh, it would be expensive. It would be more expensive than the VIP badge. I wouldn't want it to be cheaper, because that wouldn't be fair. You spend all that time saving up for the VIP badge. I would want it to be more expensive. But I was contemplating, like, having that, because the VIP badge is completely meaningless, you know? Completely meaningless. I think the only thing that you get an advantage of is, like, you can, like, spam chat. Like, you can actually type in quicker. Like, sometimes you'll get in trouble for, like, typing in too many messages too fast. I think you can do that with the VIP badge. I think that's, like, one of the advantages that you get with that, but I actually don't remember. Like, you'll get a brief, like, posting timeout. It'll last for, like, 2 minutes or something like that. They'll be like, you're spamming too much, and you won't be able to post in all of Twitch for, like, a certain amount of time. They'll, like, take it away from you, which is funny. I've had that happen before. It's amusing. You're like, ha ha ha, we raided. Spamming emotes. Twitch disables your emotes. Okay, I guess I can't do anything anymore. Twitch gets angry when you spam. In fact, I think I've even done it in my channel. I think it's possible to do it in your own channel. But yeah, I contemplated having a redemption that would remove people's badges. I feel like that would be mean. That would be mean. But I also find it funny. Because the VIP badge is meaningless. I don't know how many I can give out, though. I don't know how many I can give out. I think, like, size of your channel makes a difference. Like, you, like, earn more VIP badges through, I don't know, means. Not sure. Eventually, they're gonna run out. That's what I thought, too. That's what I thought it was based on sub points as well. But I don't think it's your current sub points. I think it's the highest accumulation you've had before, and we've been pretty high before. We've been pretty high, well, high for us. We've been in the like 70s before, which was that was crazy. 70s, 80s, something like that. We've been really high. We've been really high. I don't think I've given out 10 yet. I think right now we're at like 4 or something like that. Some of the people that have VIP badges, I've removed a couple people's VIP badges that don't show up anymore. There's a handful of people that redeemed it that don't come by much anymore, which makes me kind of sad. What are you gonna do? Just be sad. Just gonna live in depression, I guess, again, forever and ever. Just depressed. Born to be sad. We watched all this yesterday. We're not watching it. We have to wait for Sid to finish talking here.
Our paths have never crossed, but I know who you are.
And no?
You're the pawns of that woman. The one who has crossed the White Tiger. Very well. I shall be the one to pass judgment on you.
You know about Mother?
I never anticipated that our fight with Sid would turn out to be like this.
Who do you
I'm
think
a shiny
you are?
boy.
Within my dark clutches, you shall die a slow death.
Let's split up and take them out one by one.
Alright, we've got Ace. Who's in my party right now? I think Cater was. Who did we take? I took the weaker people. I was gonna have Trey, Queen, and Cater go together. So we can bring... like Deuce and King. We'll bring Deuce and King. And then we'll have Trey, Queen, and Cater. Yeah. I like Deuce. She's a tutor. I like our tutors. Alright. I think that's good. I think that's what we did yesterday. Or something similar to this. I'm not positive. Alright, and I went to the left with these guys, I believe. I don't think it matters here. These challenges weren't too bad. At least I didn't think they were too bad.
Time for judgment.
Judgment Day.
Yeah.
It said defeat all enemies.
You are now
Enemies is
authorized.
plural. That was
go.
defeat a enemy. Defeat all enemy. 1.
Are you up to the challenge?
Okay, this one's just survive. This one's just survive for 2 minutes, which I will 100% admit really fucking annoying. Okay, my bad. Don't just stand there and take it to the face. I know better than that. I fully disagree, gang. I like how the enemy is completely invincible. And by I like how the enemy is completely invincible, I mean I don't. Nothing like enemies that can warp around the arena. Am I right? Who's in this? Trey can at least attack from a distance.
Proceed onward.
I think this one is don't get hit by anything.
Let's go.
Cinnabon! So if we just run to the end here.
This should be easy for you.
We already came this way.
We won this way. Oh. I forgot that it was do it twice.
Is this Milites? Look at that.
Does Deuce have heal?
I'm ready. Do your best.
Step
I don't
aside.
think she does.
Give 'em all you got. I got this.
I think we're okay though.
Let's go.
And away we go. We don't heal anymore.
You should at least be able to do this much.
Ah! Our attacks aren't working. Hey guys, haven't we been here before?
Dude, Queen died? What the hell? Ow.
That was so easy.
You are now authorized to...
Man, I wasn't paying attention to her. Hopefully she comes back. If not, we gotta do this shit again.
What are monsters doing in here?
Forgot that they had the Iron Giant here.
I gotta punch him. 100. No, 1,000 times.
Thanks for VIP, I'll behave. Nice.
Ah!
Hey, you got it.
Worthy to be unseen. A query. Wilt thou become a sea and protect me, the Vermilion Bird?
Okay. The answer is remain immortal. Do not choose become a Lassie. It's a scam. It's a scam. Just like all the scams I run here. The scam. Remain mortal.
What? What is that?
The choice now goes to thee.
So Rem becomes a Lassie instead? Can we bring somebody back? Revives all dead party members. What is this? How do you ever use this? She's been in the library too long? Yeah, probably. Just hanging out. Reading. With her eyeballs. What's the point of the Phoenix Down if we can't bring her? I don't want her dead. I didn't realize that she bit it. I wasn't paying attention to her health. Okay, we need to, like, equip them with some stuff, apparently. He can ban anybody that steps out of line. TK ever deems it that he needs to ban you, bye-bye VIP badge. Don't poke the moderators, man. I feel like that's something I shouldn't have to recite to people, but don't poke them. Yes, they absolutely can. Okay, so on Queen... Let's see here. Let's give her more HP. Increase max HP by 80%. That would keep her alive. She's definitely squishy. Maybe we could just give her defense? I think channel warning might be like a new thing. Or a newer thing. Also, people probably don't enact channel warnings very often. I think most people either like time people out or ban them. Yeah. No, the moderator can ban anybody. I don't think moderators can ban other moderators, but a moderator is right below like the, you know, the channel operator as far as like power goes. So VIP, while above status of a regular viewer, they're still below a moderator. And maybe we should boost her defense. Maybe we should just boost health. I'm not sure. Yeah, just be careful, man. Like I said, I will remove the the VIP badge. Unusual artifact. 20% HP, and then attack and defense and ballistic resistance. You know what? That might make up for things. Let's put that on her. Her defense is pretty low too. But if I'm controlling her, that won't be too much of an issue. But I guess maybe we could crank up her defense a little bit. I have another one of those that does like everything. I like having the magic though. Ray was the other one. Max HP 40%. Oh, that's MP. I don't know how much he actually uses magic. Give him some defense. Ace. I took King. That's a defense? Okay, yeah, let's raise his defense too. Sure. Deuce. I just like cranked up her magic. I'm gonna leave her alone. Alright. Let's try to keep these characters alive to that checkpoint.
Celestial.
The whole... I was gonna ignore this, but... The whole, like, come on, man, it's just a joke. Don't take it so seriously. That is such a... juvenile response to a situation. Like, come on, bro, it's just a joke. Why are you angry? It's such a... You know why people get angry, right? Like, you know. So, responding with, why, man, it's just a joke. Don't take it so seriously because someone called you on your bullshit. Like, nah, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. That's so small. That's so small. That's so small. Yeah, but there's like a fine line between things. You...
Could this be fate?
The way you say that you joke
Crossed, but I know who you are.
is bordering
You're
on
the pawns of that woman.
being
The one
aggressive.
who has crossed the white tiger.
And you say it's a joke, but see,
Very
it's not up to
well.
you to determine what's funny and
shall
what
be
isn't.
the
It's the
one to
person
pass
that
judgment
is
on
on the
you.
other end of it that determines it. And a lot of the times you really like to
Mother?
poke and prod.
I never anticipated that our fight with Sid would turn out to be like this.
Okay. I mean,
Who do you think you are?
alright, cool, man.
Within my dark
Enjoy.
clutches, you shall
Have a good
die
time.
slow death.
Let's split up and take them out one by one.
Alright, we're taking Deuce and King. Yes, and then for the second party, we're taking Cater, Queen, and Trey. Alright, I gotta pay more attention to the health of the other characters. I thought they were okay. Like, she went from having health to just being gone. So I thought she was okay there.
Time for judgment.
That's my fault. I love how they give you 10 minutes to eliminate all enemies.
Yeah.
It's a enemy.
You are now authorized.
Let's go.
It's a enemy. How you doing today, Teak? How's your Wednesday going?
Are you up to the challenge?
I don't want to do this anymore.
Long day, largely uneventful. Alright. What's up, Bill? got double vax though? Oh, you mean like the flu and the a booster shot or something else? Harder work has the vid. The vid? Were you crying during the vaccine shots? They're gonna hit a bone. They're gonna hit a bone. No, don't hit the bone. Kind of thing? Is it kind of like that? Well, I'm glad you got the shots, Bill. Even if you're afraid of vaccines, I'm glad you got it. Flu and COVID. No chills yet. Yeah, it usually takes about 24 hours before you start seeing any sort of side effects from them. This strain appears to make you feel like shit and test negative. Makes you poop. Pooping's good. I said feel like shit. Well, same. You don't test positive till you start feeling better? That's weird. I haven't heard about that.
Proceed onward.
I'm not afraid of shots. Sure you are, kiddo. That's alright. Here's a lollipop. Home tests aren't that accurate for this one? Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. It's genuinely unfortunate.
Let's go.
I don't take strangers' candy. Yes, you do. We all do.
Showdown!
Strangers' candy is the best kind of candy. It's the free kind of candy.
This should be easy for you.
We already came this way. Is this Milites? Look at that.
Yeah, we actually just we threw out some of our old COVID exams, or at least my mom threw out some of her old ones that she got. They have expiration dates, you know, and they don't always test for like the newest strains. So I think the government just authorized
Let's go.
a handful of like free tests, and I think my insurance company is offering free tests through it as well, so I'm gonna buy some through them or order some through them.
I can't see a thing.
You should at least be able to do this much.
Eliminate all enemies and proceed to the next chamber. Gotta watch their health.
Our attacks aren't working.
Yeah, I know.
You're mine.
Dude, she died again? I just look over and she's just gone. God damn it. You have two mysteries though. How fucking Mouse got in, but you caught it within 17 hours from seeing it. You were paged to reception the other night, but couldn't make it. It was not your sister or a close female friend, so you're stymied. Reception of what? You were paged to reception the other night at your job. Is it weird you kind of look forward to post-vax immune response? I'm sore most days, so it's not that much different. Miserable for a couple hours, but it's also kind of nice being in that fuck everything, I just want to be under a blanket, not move state. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that like shitty, like achy body feeling. I can be under the blanket, I don't want to move without feeling like garbage. I don't like that feeling. I do, but not during summer. I just want to feel something. Oh, God. I got you.
Celestia, is that you?
Knowing that I mean, it's not exactly immunity that you have from it, but knowing that your, like, body will have a, you know, better chance at fighting off any, you know, foreign invaders is pretty good. It is a nice feeling. I didn't get my flu vaccine last year, but I did get a COVID booster. I think it's been about a year or two, so I'm gonna have to like start looking around to find a place to give me another booster. I probably should do that too. I probably should do that too. Because the place I went to go get I went to Costco. My mom found last year that Costco, like I called around to a bunch of places and nobody had it, but she was like, hey, what if I call Costco? And they had it. I had never gone to Costco to get a shot, and since I'm not a member of Costco, I wasn't sure that I could, like, you know, get a vaccine there. But they were like, yeah, sure, man. You know, as long as a member gets you in, you know, you could go to, I think you have to be a Costco member to use the pharmacy. But I don't think you have to be a member to get a vaccine. I'm not sure about that one. Either way, that's where I ended up getting it. But they were like, your insurance won't let us give you a flu shot here, because I was going to get both of them. And then I went, I'm not going somewhere else to get a flu shot. So I didn't get one. Like, whatever, I'm not doing it. I already spent a day getting my booster. I'll take the COVID booster. That's the important one. You think people going apeshit about the non-MRA vax are weird? They have the Novavax. What are they saying about it? Being nearly unable to walk upright because you're shaking so hard is a trip? Yeah, I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that. That doesn't sound like fun. I've told this before. Right before COVID hit, like in 2017 maybe, like early 2018, late 2017, I came down with the worst fever I've ever had in my life. Like absolutely the worst. And like probably should have gone to like the ER, but we were told, you know, hey, take an ice bath. So my partner went and like bought like a bunch of, you know, ice. Her and her mom went out and bought like a bunch of ice, so I ended up like taking an ice bath, which was horrible. Like, but I do understand like trying to get up when your temperature is that high and you feel that ill.
Be the one to pass judgment on you.
I think it was like 105.1. Like it was like dangerously high.
I never anticipated that our fight with Sid would turn out.
And they were like, take an
this.
ice bath, like do that. And that was
Who do you think you are?
that was probably the worst I've ever felt, like sick wise.
Dark clutches, you shall
That was
die
abysmal. That was absolutely abysmal. That fever lasted for days. Normally, you know, you'll have like a fever 1 or 2 days and it breaks, man. I had that fever for like a week. It was awful. It was awful. Those first couple of days where it was like super duper high was just awful. Similar to the Pfizer, this mRNA vaccine that sends host cells in the body instructions for making a spike protein that'll train the immune system. So I know what mRNA is. That's what they've been. That's what the shots have been. Unlike the mRNA and vector vaccines, this is a protein adjuvant. Adjuvant's an ingredient used to strengthen the immune response. I've heard the word adjuvant before. While other vaccines trick the body's cells into creating parts of the virus that can trigger the immune system, the Novavax vaccine takes a different approach. It contains the spike protein in the coronavirus itself, but formulated as a nanoparticle, which cannot cause disease. So people are saying they're injecting people with the with the virus. That's what people are flipping out over. They're giving you the virus! That's what they're saying. The vaccine's injected. This simulates the immune system to produce antibodies. But I mean, that's what vaccines are in the first place. That's what a lot of vaccines are. They introduce the dead virus so your body finds a way to fight the virus off. This is just a different method of injecting it so the body understands how to fight the virus off. They're just different methods of doing the exact same thing. That's literally what vaccines are. People are stupid. People are fucking stupid. That's the Yale medical explanation, and not the same strain, though. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's a bunch of different strains. I mean, take the flu vaccine. The flu vaccine, there's a bunch of different strains of the flu. Bunch of. And they're kind of doing like predictions, and they go, well, we're seeing that maybe that these strains of the virus are going to be more prevalent. So they'll give you those strains of the virus. They don't give you everything. They give you like a handful of strains that they think are going to be the most prevalent and active during the flu season. So when people are like, well, I got the flu virus, how'd I get sick? Because there's like 1,000 different strains of the flu virus. That's how. And not everything's the flu. But that's what they do. They're giving you the strain so that your body has the wherewithal to battle it if it ever comes in contact with it. mRNA is the current one, and the other one is the previous strain. So they're doing two different ones. Interesting. I want all the strains. Well, you know, I want whatever's the most, like, prolific. Whatever the one that's running rampant, that's the one that I want. I want both. You know what? Fuck it, give me both. Stab me twice. You know what? Screw that. Give me everything. Can I have everything? Is that safe? Because if it's safe, I want everything. Like, jab me with everything. I want it all. I want it all. I literally want it all. Who do we choose? Deuce and King. God, pay attention to Queen. Pay attention to Queen. We have to use the range. No. On a tray here. True, and by now, most people should have had COVID by now. I've never had COVID. Most people should have not had COVID. If you're being careful, you're taking care of yourself, you don't get COVID. I have not had COVID. I was hanging out with some friends, like, it wasn't last Saturday, it was the Saturday before last, and they're like, you haven't had COVID? And I was like, well, I'm kind of a shut-in. I'm kind of a shut-in, and I usually only go out, you know, I can work from home, so I usually only go out for, like, groceries and shit. So, yeah. I've not had it. But then again, I'm not, like, romping around coughing in people's faces and telling them to cough into mine. They don't make the old vaccines now. Right. Nor are you. Well, clearly you are. Clearly.
Let's go.
Clearly. Bill over here having like children cough in his face every day.
Time for judgment.
I know how it is.
Here goes.
I know how it is.
Yeah.
Fake Twitch job is not a real
You are
thing, Bill.
now
God.
authorized.
You just said fake.
Let's go.
Fake is not real. God.
Are you up to the challenge?
I don't want to do this anymore. Ah!
Pay attention to Queen. Pay attention to Queen. We need the range fighter or else we can't do this stuff. Wonder what I would do. You didn't bring a ranged fighter into this. Would you just be hosed? I feel like you'd be hosed. Nice. Did the old funky Watusi. Didn't catch no COVID. That's good. Did you get sick otherwise, though? You got the TwitchCon stank? The TwitchCon, the Comic-Con stank?
You're mine.
Half your friend group managed to pick it up?
Okay then.
You can avoid it. You're living that good life. But what about that other stink?
You're mine.
You don't call the last time you got sick? I got you. I don't either. I have not been like sick since COVID started. Which means like my immune system is like just shot. I don't go outside, so like my immune system doesn't fight things off. Like after I came back on Saturday from hanging out with friends, I felt weird. I was like, why I feel weird? Why I gotta feel weird? I don't like this. I think my body was just like fighting shit off. You know, shit that like normal people are exposed to, like everyday things, just being out and about in the world. And since I don't go out very often, my body was like, oh right, we gotta fight things off.
Can't see a thing.
You got sick, but you swear it wasn't COVID, so technically I've only had it once.
Couldn't change a single thing.
The friends that I saw a couple weeks ago, they were my trivia group, and one of my friends on the trivia team was one of the first people I think that got COVID in the U.S. One of the first. He may have been the first to die in the U.S. I'm not sure about that, but we were at trivia, and I was sitting right next to him, and all our other teammates. I mean, his wife. That makes sense that she ended up catching COVID, but like some of our other teammates that were further away caught it. I was sitting right next to him while he was like coughing and shit, and we were talking in each other's faces, and I even joked. I was like, "Ha, you don't have COVID, do you?" Now I feel kind of fucked up for saying that because he did have COVID and he died from it. But I didn't catch it. Like, I was right next to him, and I was just like, dude, that's the luckiest I think I've ever been. Like, I literally Neo Matrix dodged the fucking COVID virus.
Where am I?
Like, I went and got tested immediately afterwards when he called us, and he was like, dude, I got COVID. Like, I went to it was like maybe like a week later. I went and got tested, and I mean, obviously this was early on, and negative results are a thing, but I never felt sick or ill or anything. Like, I felt a little off, but that could have been like Munchausen proxy or something like that, you know, something that I was like putting on me, because you can sometimes force yourself to feel ill given circumstances and stuff.
Where is everyone?
Well, it's Munchausen. Munchausen by proxy is pushing it on to somebody else. Munchausen's is where you like make yourself feel sick. Munchausen by proxy is when you're saying other people are sick and you do terrible things to try to cure their illness, like your kids, family members and stuff.
Couldn't change a single thing.
So either way, but like that's the closest I've been, and I somehow like got lucky and avoided it. What's up, Smoke? How you doing? Nerd Harryar, Ein Harryar, nice.
I'm scared.
Statistically, that was a reasonable joke to make at the time. Yeah, it was a reasonable joke to make at the time. Hindsight's not great. Hindsight's not great.
I can't feel anything.
My buddy almost always had something.
Where is everyone?
He almost always had something. Like, it'd be allergies or he was fighting off a cold or something. So it wasn't like every week he was coming in like sniffling and, you know, got a little bit of an itchy throat, you know. That's just how he was. You know, so it wasn't like some sort of surprise. So yeah, joking about like, was it COVID? He's just like, nah, it's just allergies. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. You always have something. So yeah, that's just how you is.
This should be easy for you.
But you know, the fact that I was like inches, centimeters away from this human being, you know, and didn't catch it, that's the more impressive thing. My friends were like, dude, you should totally go get studied. You should become a guinea pig. And I was like, nah, I'm good.
Look at that.
I'm good. I just think, I don't think that I think it's just luck, you know? A lot of people I know have had COVID. I just, being the, you know, person that doesn't go out that much, I think I've just been like lucky, and I don't expose myself to much, and I still take all the precautions. I mean, wearing a mask is just for those around you, but I still wear a mask when I go out. I still wash my hands thoroughly and all that, you know. I still abide by all the standard COVID rules.
You should
You know, I take care of precautions, especially now that, you know, if I wasn't living with my mom and she wasn't somebody that was someone that is susceptible. What do they call people that are might be getting the sick? Okay.
That was so easy.
She's a person that can get ill, so I have to be extra cautious around her anyways. If she gets sick, it'd be big trouble. Immunocompromised? There you go. Thank you. Yeah, immunocompromised. Yep. Yeah. Or you got it early on, were asymptomatic and have otherwise fought it off since. That's possible. That's possible. Like I said, it could have been a false negative. Those are a thing. It could have been a false negative.
What are monsters doing in here?
Let's go team. False negatives were a thing, so that's possible.
I gotta punch him.
It's definitely possible.
No.
And lots of people had been asymptomatic, so yeah. But I did get tested. I got tested twice during that. And both of them came back negative, so... Could also have both been false negatives. Could have also been that, but... I feel like I didn't, but it's possible. It's possible. But since then, I've The only time I've ever felt ill since then was after the latest booster. I didn't feel too bad for like the first few shots, but after I think the third or the fourth one that I got, that's when I started to feel ill. The last one that I got, the one last year, was the one that made me not feel good. That was the worst one out of them all so far. That one was not good. I did not like that one. That one made me feel really bad. You wish it wasn't a nasal test? I didn't mind it. The doctor was like, you're gonna feel a pressure and it's probably gonna be uncomfortable. And I was like, okay, cool. And he jammed that Q-tip and I was like, damn, he's scratching my brain. But I was like, oh, that's it? He was like, all right, we're done. And I was like, that was it? And he was like, yeah, you're good to go. And I was like, cool. I didn't think it was that bad, but I'm not everybody else. Everybody, like some people, I've seen some people that are extremely adverse to it. Like, no, I can't do this. I can't. I get it. I get it. Everybody, so different things bother people in different ways. Different things bother people in different ways. It felt weird, don't get me wrong. Like sticking that like way back in your nasal cavity. It felt weird, but it didn't hurt or anything. It felt weird. It just felt weird because like how often do you have something that deep probing inside your nasal cavity? Not very often, I would assume. Unless you're a geek at the circus, right? And you're jamming like weird things into your body, then that's normal. When you had it, your only symptom was slight scratchy throat. You'd have never known if it wasn't testing. I got you. It's not dissimilar from inhaling pool water. Yeah, but at least that water's not getting into your at least the Q-tip's not going into your lungs. The water goes into your lungs. The Q-tip doesn't, fortunately. Yeah, weird tickle. A short burning sensation? No, I didn't feel like a burning sensation at all. It was just, you could feel a pressure. That's all that it was, is that, you know, like, if you had, like, really stuffed up sinuses, it just felt like a weird pressure. Like, you could feel something moving through there, but I didn't feel like a burning sensation at all. It just felt like pressure. And then them going into, like, the back of your throat or whatever, you know, where the nasal cavity ends. That, and then, you know, like, them, like, scraping back there. But it didn't hurt. Didn't hurt. It just felt weird. Like, I don't even know that I would say it was uncomfortable. It just felt weird. I probably should test. I don't want to spend $35 visit plus cost in the time off. You can get, oh, well, I guess you're saying the newest tests don't catch the strain? Or the home tests, the newest home tests don't? Because there are home tests. I took a couple of home tests, and those are just your saliva. Like, you like wipe the inside of your mouth, or like you leave the Q-tip in your mouth or whatever. So it's not like you're doing like the nasal scraping. I think I could do the nasal scraping. I think I could do it. I think I could jam a Q-tip into the back of my throat. I think I could do that, no problem. Like, through my nasal cavity, I think I could do that. I don't think I need training. I think I could just poke it back there, and I would have no problem. Oh, the one I had? You, like, soaked a Q-tip, and then you, like, put it in a solution. You like, dropped some saliva into a solution. And then you let the solution sit for a while, and then you applied it to, like, a home pregnancy test. It was like the pee test with a dropper. There's probably the nasal ones too. I wouldn't have a problem. I could totally do that. I would have no problem doing it. I could jam a Q-tip as far back as you want me to go. That's fine. I got no problem with it. You want me to do it? Sure. I don't like it. Yeah, I got it. I mean, I don't want to do it unless I have to, but I don't think I would have a problem.
What?
Achos don't become Lassie, right? Achos be normal? Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, we watched this the last time. Alright, we got it. Queen's alive. We're living our best life. I'm gonna save over here. Chamber of All. Let's see here. We can roll with this crew. We can roll with this crew. That's fine. Just hope that nobody dies. What do we got now? Well, we don't know yet then. You want to get tested? Your county public health office may have free tests. Yeah. Yeah, you can order tests. Obviously, you can go to your doctor, and yeah, you could check your county public office. Yeah, that's a Teak always be having that like extra step of information because he's exposed to that. Like, I think your average person would not think that, but because Teak's involved in like city and council goings-ons, I never would have thought that. But yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. The public health office should. You live close to your county office? Yeah, you should give him a ring, or at least go online and check. Because if they do, that's pretty easy.
Are you up to the challenge?
Shit, man. I mean, I bet you like if you have like a CVS or Walgreens, you work at a Walmart, right? Do they have a pharmacy in the Walmart? A lot of the Walmarts have pharmacies. I bet you they got tests there too. They'll bill insurance. I think the government's still supposed to be covering those costs, but I don't know. Face Sid's Crucible. Harvest 7 Phantoma on your way to the upper level. Oh, we're already counting. Yeah, but I didn't ask because I marked knocked sick currently on the form. You got your shot. Oh, you were sick when you got your shot? Are you not supposed to get the COVID shot? If you have COVID? During the pandemic, ours kept a huge pile of boxes of tests near the door you could just take. That's nice. You've been fatigued and sleepless most of this week? Are you depressed? Could be a lot of things. Feeling fatigued and all that, and that could be a lot of things, man. Where did I just go? I'm not running a fever, I'm sure I'm fine. Yeah. Absolutely fine. There's no map. So you're killing God with the power of friendship today? Maybe. I hope so. I hope so. I think this is the final dungeon. Yeah, I don't know where we are. What we're doing. Left. Okay. Left. Yeah, apparently she got shot and she hung out with the bad guys. Straight? Like, the bad dude was like, yeah, I'll adopt you. Where the hell am I? Okay, left. We're going in a loop. All right, this time go left. This time we haven't been this way. Yeah, they saved the little kid. I was like, why don't we have the little kid? That's where we got chased out of town. That's why we don't have the little kid. I was like, why didn't she come with us? That's weird that you would abandon her. But we got like chased out of town. So we just left her body. Her cold, lifeless corpse. How many have I got? 6? We need one more. Could have gone to the right.
You are now authorized to proceed.
You're mine.
When these things, they go into like mega murder mode. When they turn red, they go batshit crazy. Adumbration? Exactly,
Why not
adumbration.
split up and take them both out?
I guess we're doing the same thing we did last time. Cater, Queen, Trey. And Ace, Deuce, King. Does she carry bullets in her shoe? She's got like she shoots like magical stuff. She has magic bullets.
You have little time. Make it quick.
All enemies and proceed to the next chamber.
Okay then.
What blew up? What? Oh. The floor tiles. You?
You're mine. How's this?
The floor tiles were hurting us.
Let's go.
What's up, Sukasa? How you doing, homie? Remember this game? You got all the achievements for it on your Xbox? Nice, dude. How'd you like it? She keeps picking at her shoes. Yeah, I don't know why she does that. I don't know why she does that. When I dodge, she like hesitates and like grabs her ankle. I don't know why she does that. It's just like part of her animation, I guess.
Are you up to the challenge?
I like it so far. I'm enjoying it. Eliminate your enemies without using physical attacks. Okay. I don't know how we're gonna do that. We do it? That was it?
You are now authorized to proceed.
We see something over here? We did indeed. Nice. A violet. I didn't really notice. Well, I didn't go looking to see. I usually don't look what people think of a game until after I beat it. I don't like getting my... I guess I don't like being swayed by other people's opinions. I wanna make up my own mind of whether I like the game or not, so I tend not to like look at reviews and stuff before I play a game for the first time. Sometimes it's kind of hard to avoid, especially if it's like a newer game or something like that, but I try to avoid looking at stuff.
How the hell did I get here?
Like if it's something I'm interested in, I'll just go, okay, I'm gonna play it.
Somebody help me!
Well, I'll give like my full thoughts on it when I'm done, but I like it so far. I'm having a decent time.
I prepared this just for you.
What is it? Destroy the pillars.
You're mine. Okay then. Ha! Ha!
Flames?
Ha!
No, Trey, fuck! Can I use a first aid? I guess that's not first aid. Phoenix down. Allow the flames to guide thine impulse? What does that even mean?
Power up.
You do that with movies? Like that she ties her shoes during combat? Yeah. You do be doing that. Allow flames to guide thine impulse. We're on a timer. Sure.
This is Concordia, right?
Sure. Yeah, I like doing that with most media.
How much farther do we have to go?
Not get caught up in other people's opinions and formulate stuff myself. And I find that by and large, I tend not to agree with most people. Nerdcordia? It is Nerdcord. Concord.
Let's go.
My favorite game. I'm gonna heal everyone real quick.
You should at least be able to do this much.
What are we doing? Without using magic? Oh, yeah, that's easy.
It's all you.
I'm ready. Do your best.
Step aside. Give them all you got. I got this.
to proceed.
Sucks when it's fun games that get shut down like Gundam Evo. You like Gundam Evo?
Milites? No. Lorica?
I was saying this the other day. Because of you, Smoke, I started watching Gundam. The first series from like the 70s, the late 70s, like 78, 79, something like that, is good so far. I would recommend checking it out, man. It's a lot of fun. It's super violent. They just be killing people. At least that'll get your, like, dip your toe in to Gundam, you know? There's a lot of content there, I guess, but you don't have to watch all of it. I don't know how much of it I'm gonna watch or not, but I'm at least watching the first series, and it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. It's very, very simple, but it's fun. There's a bit of intrigue going on. Pretty cool so far. I would definitely recommend it. You wanted to like it, but, you know, the battle pass. Sad. Yeah, that's all of those style hero shooter games, yeah. Was Gundam free to play? And it just had, I'm assuming since it had a battle pass, I'm assuming it was free to play. But that's not always necessarily true. Teek said the dubs are good. Yeah, no, the dub, I'm watching the dub, and it's solid. It's solid. It's a Canadian group. Teek said a bunch of Bandai works with a Canadian, I guess, dub team. And they're good. They're good. They're good. It's solid. I've been enjoying it. It definitely, to me, is reminiscent of, like, the decent older dubs. I mean, like, the dubs from, like, the 80s and 90s that were actually solid. It kind of has, like, a similar tone to those. At least of, like, the original series that I'm watching right now. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Yeah, I don't think I need anything. Let's go. We just saved. What?
We can take care of this.
This could be hard.
Listen up. Don't get careless.
It was
Enemy
level 18.
eliminated.
This world teems with life, trivial life. I see no value in it. Is this the culmination of 1,000 years? How disappointing. It is a simple matter to destroy the world, if but a bit tiresome. Do not resist. Accept your judgment with proper respect. Recite its words upon your death, and you may yet acquire some piddling value.
Sure. All I thought that whole time was Steve Blum, Steve Blum, Steve Blum, Steve Blum, Steve Blum, Steve Blum, Steve Blum. That's all that I thought the whole time. Was that wrong to think that constantly?
Are you up to the challenge?
Base Sid's Crucible, deliver those pitiful souls?
I'll handle this.
Are you alright?
Hold on. You can have it. We're counting on you. How's that?
Protect this area!
Ocean is the Canadian dub team, yeah? They did a lot of high-profile anime back in the day, still do. But not nearly to the same extent. Yeah, okay.
You are now authorized to proceed.
I've heard some mixed things about them, that some of their dubs weren't great, but some of them were pretty solid, so I guess it really depended, you know, who they had working on stuff.
Behold. All you held dear has been reduced to ashes by your own magic.
We have to do this.
It looks like we're just gonna have to fight.
We fight. Since when can you control Eidolons?
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
We won. But
So those were like the husks of people that we fought, because they don't have Phantoma in them. I don't know if this is supposed to be like we're being teleported back to the planet where, you know, destruction was wreaked. I know that Ocean did a version of Dragon Ball before that was redone, but they didn't do the whole series, right? They only did up to a certain extent. They only did like a portion of it, like up to Namek maybe, right? And then that was it. I guess that's Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball.
You should at least be able to do this much.
watch out!
Please be careful.
Be careful!
There.
Yo, Goose dropping fat beats. You hear that? Yo, get him.
Excellent.
What?
Now you may continue.
Yo, I was about to drop some fat rhymes. Why you stop, girl? Oh, rip it. Before Funimation brought it in-house. Funimation does a really good job with their dubs. No doubt. Sounds like some Jay Diller or Madlib, right? Right?
Your petty knowledge cannot save you from being swallowed by the waves.
Show me what you can do.
I did.
Back
They're
for
like
more,
super
are
low
you?
level.
Fine, then let me deal you in.
Because he uses cards. Hit or miss. To be fair, I've only watched a few of their things, so I guess I'm not a good judge. What are some big ones that they've done? Aside from Dragon Ball. Funimation's problem is that they do so much, all their shows start sounding the same because they use a lot of the same actors. Yeah.
The once rigid shields shatter like thin ice and disappear.
Wait, that's... What's he doing here?
Show me
Leave nothing in my way.
Don't hit those!
Victory is ours.
Take him down, son. No more big bridge battle for you, Buster. Stop hearing characters and you just hear Chris Sabat doing one of his 3 voices. For the longest time, I did not know Chris Sabat did Piccolo. I mean, it makes sense. Like once I heard it, I was like, oh yeah. Like it just clicked in my brain. Like one day I was just watching Dragon Ball, because clearly I knew that he did Vegeta, but it did not click in my brain that he also did Piccolo. They sound similar. But once I heard it, I was just like, oh yeah. Like it was like years before I realized. I was like, yeah, no, that's him. That's him. That's him. I don't know all the characters that he does. I know his name, and I know that he's like Vegeta. I don't know everybody else that's like under his banner. The voice direction too gets pretty easy to pick out once you hear it enough. I'm sure. The only thing I think I know those guys from, like Sean Schemmel and Chris Sabat, are just from Dragon Ball. I'm not sure that I've heard them in maybe like some video games here and there, but I don't know that I've ever heard them in other anime.
This should be easy for you.
Poison. It's over.
If there's a gruff fighter supporting character in a Funimation show, they're probably voiced by Chris Sabat. I like his voice, not gonna lie. We have any remedy? Or antidote? No? That just restores HP. I don't have a single remedy. Sort it. I don't even have like remedy. There's remedy and mega remedy, and I don't even have that. How do I get rid of insect oil? No. There we go. Perfect. And now we can use like an X potion. Bunch of them. Alright. It's funny that the one role he's hard to pick out is Kuwabara. That's because he voices that so Vuv. I love Kuwabara. That was Sean Schemmel.
There sure are a lot of them.
I mean, Chris Sabat. I like Kuwabara. Starts out as such a dick. Becomes like a lovable, gruff guy.
Proceed onward.
I got poisoned again. That's balls. Maybe this area just poisons you. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Behold what has befallen the realm you failed to defend. The azure streams are now weathered and polluted.
Not my fault. Alright, we gotta heal them again because they got poisoned immediately, so that was stupid. What else are we using our potions on, though?
What are they? Damn.
I don't know. Draco Battalion?
You again.
Goofballs?
You need to leave. What the hell was that?
Fun. Alrighty. So before we go through this portal, let's save. Oh, they're already standing there? Get out of here.
Now, time for your final judgment.
The top without falling
Caught up
in?
that.
I'm not sure what that means. Fall into what? Like, don't step off the path? I'll do my best not to. Say my name, say my name. Beyonce?
You disappoint me.
I didn't fall in. What?
With Lord Shufugon, the Vermilion Bird Crystal sought a new Lassie and chose me. The crystal wants Agito to be born of the Vermilion Bird. White Tiger Lassie, stand down!
Yeah, stand down, bruh.
I can't move right.
Let's go.
Are we zombies now? I didn't fall in. It was like, you fell in. Fell into what? There was nothing to fall into. I was on what you would call ground. Kind of miss the late 90s, early 2000s. There were a lot of studios putting out dubs. Not always pristine, but there's more variety. Variety's good. Not hearing the same voices over and over again. When you play a lot of JRPGs, especially from, you know, that same era, like the PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2, it was really the PlayStation 2 where more things started to get dubbed. You know, you would have voice acting in them. And, yeah, you really started to see, especially from, like, the American dubs. I didn't really play the Japanese stuff, so... But you really got to see hear a lot of the same people over and over. You started to recognize people and know their names and shit. Like Liam O'Brien, who was in, like, fucking everything. Like, Liam O'Brien's voice is impossible not to pick out, you know? I wonder if that was like a forced failure.
Machina. Rem? What happened?
Stab her.
Machina.
Ram!
came back, my dearest Machina.
Stop talking. I have...
Welcome back, Machina.
Rem. I'm sorry.
Why did all of this happen?
I was afraid of losing you, Rem. Of forgetting you. I was afraid of being alone. So I became a lassie.
Machina, where are you?
Rem! I'm right here.
Always remember me.
Rem! Rem!
You got it. You got her. You got her.
Machina. Rem.
This is terrible.
The White Tiger lassie!
That voice. I remember you. Vermilion Bird. The White Tiger Crystal is seeking its next lassie. This coincidence had to happen.
What?
Take over my focus. Become a lassie.
I hate being weak. I hate being a person who needs protection. I'll lose her, like I lost my brother if I don't act. I'll lose Rem, and my memories of her. If I become a lassie, that will all change, right? More than anything, I want a strong body that fears nothing. I want the skills to protect others, to protect Rem. The power of a lassie!
The mark of a lassie is proof that you have been chosen. Do you really want to be a White Tiger lassie?
Yeah. I want to! Grant me the power of a lassie! The crystal's focus. And...
Why was she just hanging out attached to that rock?
I am a lassie.
So I'm assuming that happened when we initially stormed the Empire. We didn't storm them. We infiltrated them to like destroy some of their Magitech armor. Then they called for a ceasefire, and we were allowed to wander around the city, and then they assassinated the queen and tried to pin it on us. So we had to skedaddle outside of the city, and when we had gotten away, we were at like a safe house, and Machina went off on his own for a little while. And I'm assuming that was then. That's what happened then, when he went off on his own. He found the white tiger for some reason attached to a rock. I just wanted to pick up their crystals, not see story stuff, but that's cool how they at least explain that. So Rem was briefly a l'Cie. When we turned down becoming a l'Cie, the Vermilion Bird then turned to Rem, who's gonna die anyway. She was deathly sick, so that gave her an opportunity. But nobody knew that Machina had turned into a l'Cie. I knew it. We hadn't seen that cutscene before, but he kept disappearing on us, and then a new l'Cie showed up with the Empire, and I was like, oh, that's Machina. Because who else is it gonna be? You know, they try to hide it from you with, you know, a helmet and all that, but like, he was already spying on our class, and he had a vendetta against us because we supposedly killed his brother. And so he was angry at us. So it kind of makes sense that he would, you know, turn against his crew, become a l'Cie for the bad guys. And then he was acting all cold and distant. Or we'll make a separate save, because I want to go back and see if, like, every time you replay that thing, if you, like, die. That had to have been scripted, I would assume, but there's, like, no way of knowing. So yeah, let's go down there and make our save. What do we got here? I don't think if I heal it's going to make a difference, but let's see what happens. Use a Mega Elixir. Well, we're healed.
Very clumsy. You died again?
No.
Inept. Worthless. Let those be your names. Oh, I forgot to tell you your result. You failed. You're unfit for Agito. It seems the life I bestowed upon you was for naught. Dead in life. And alive in death. Still, you have failed to become Agito. Those born from the blood of Etro. Seen and unseen. Both worlds beckon you. What? This is not my will.
I'm assuming, so there was the Tower of Judaica, the Tower of Agito. I'm assuming if you ascend that tower and become Agito, you get like a different ending. There's like a special ending. But we couldn't climb it because the enemies in there were a level 130. And I was doing no damage to them. Time to hit that grind. Yeah. Okay, can you walk faster? Oh, they won't let me do like the speedy walk. Dude, I hate this so much. Just stop zombie walking. Just shake it off. Shake it off. You're fine. This is how Teak be walking from his bed to his bathroom. Is this what you were talking about? When it just, you struggled and hurt walking Walking from your bed to your bathroom, this was it, right? Kinda, yeah. Camera angle change, nice. I made it.
Like a rusted gun with a broken trigger that can no longer fire. Like a stagnant pool in a river, muddy and black. Like an insect whose legs have been severed, that can no longer move forward. You are all completely useless. From head to toe, from the day you were first born, your existence has been devoid of value. Those with no value have no rights in this world. But as your judge, I shall hand down your punishment.
Is that my dragon friend? Looks like God to me. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. God murked my dragon. He just tossed it aside. Uh-oh. Can you sprinkle some magic juice on us so we're okay?
Return the life I gave you. With slow, prolonged suffering. Submit to my will.
Dead.
I'm ready.
Dead.
Step aside, mortal. The power that leads to Agito.
I got 1 HP. Dead. I don't know. I would assume.
Confident. You're all talk.
Oh, dead.
I sound the knell to shake
Oh, dead.
Leave this to me.
reason shall stir.
Oh, dead.
When the seal of creation is broken, a voice like thunder shall
dead.
sound, and thou shalt know.
I'll just stand here. I won't get hit. Don't worry. You see how I just stood there and didn't take any damage? Pretty cool, right? No.
You're all talk. Abhor I me. No, the entire world. Your meaningless life reaches its end. What pathetic beings you are.
Damn it. How lame am I? Damn it.
A future only humans can attain.
That is the future you hold.
After the trials of countless worlds.
You all made it. To a similar future.
I don't want to be this guy. He's gonna die. Uh-oh.
You insist, hey? I'll use this power to kick this guy's ass. I'm gonna crush you!
Maybe we should have just waited with our other team. Machina and Rem have transferred their power to the rest of Class 0 for this battle. When one member fails, call another one from your reserve party.
Stand before me. You truly are loaded, destined to the end.
Okay.
How futile.
I timed that well, yeah. Apparently I don't die.
The power that leads to Agito.
I can't switch. Now we can shoot. Okay. Great.
We will
Look at how fast I am.
Less than scum.
Oh, I get it. They're harvesting.
Late to change anything.
And then it brings them down. Oh, I get it. I wasn't quite sure what we were doing there. All right. So we get a crit. Let's bring in Cease. We're just harvesting the orbs off his body. And it's taking us down. Am I scared? Very scared. The scaredest I've ever been. Frightened. Shaking. I'm shaking.
Back to dust. Time for your meaningless life to end.
Can you not tell?
How is this happening?
Let's put an end to this.
I'm gonna end this now.
Not accept this outcome.
It's kind of stupid. Let's get King out there.
Victory will be ours.
Hurry to your doom. This can't be.
How about Sank?
Time to say nighty-night.
Okay. There we go. It's probably one for every character, I would assume. Go with Trey.
It's time to end this.
I said, this is your judgment. Are you the way, the path?
All right, let's get our tutor out there. Miss Toots.
We can do this.
Hurry to your doom.
Kind of hard to get crits with her. There we go. Nice. You got to be real close to the enemy. All right, Ace. Coming in hot.
When will you realize your efforts are futile? Magito is beyond your reach. Once more, the world will vanish in its spiral.
One or two more? Two more? All right, so one more. I'm glad we did that with Ace. That made that a lot easier. Could have been awkward with somebody else. You were unkillable in that fight. It's not really a final boss. If that's the final boss, that's super anticlimactic.
We did our best, right?
Let's head home. When what? To keep the people waiting.
Yeah. But it's weird. I'm really sleepy.
Good time for a nap.
You can hear my voice, can't you? Please tell me all about yourselves. Tell me about my children. I understand. Then you two shall go forth. The world will change to one where death cannot be forgotten. So please, I ask that you remember my children.
Let's see. Where was it? But a lecture? Why me?
Please! It has to be someone from Class 0!
There must be someone better for this, no?
We just need someone who can hit all the important points.
Please!
Please?
I'm begging
I
you!
don't know.
Hey! Out of my way!
9, what are you doing?
What are you laughing at?
Is that what happened?
Yes, quite a surprise,
Oh.
no?
So, tell us what happened after that.
Well,
Oh,
3 days later,
yeah?
it came back as if it had never been gone.
Yeah! That's very... Huh? What's wrong?
One must be well versed in logic and reason.
Somebody
Ergo,
stop him,
it is vital that,
please.
excuse me, our conversation is not over. Essentially, through diligent study and application of body and spirit. Now, let's begin.
The commander's here.
Oh, we'll have to continue this later.
Forget about it.
Ace! Ace!
Ace. Ace. Are you awake?
Yeah. That's right. The war is over.
I wonder if we're going to die.
Oh, I'm afraid of dying.
Oh boy. This really hurts.
It is quite painful. What's with you? I thought you were ready to die.
But I'm not ready.
I'm scared. Yeah.
I can't stand it.
This is called an existential crisis. Everyone breathe. Panic attacks can happen. Just
Thank you. It really hurts.
I don't want to die. This is the end?
Why does it have to be so?
Walk on, wandering souls, for your respite we pray. Let our humble song clear your hearts of dismay. Rekindle the flame in your souls and set you free. So walk on and become the light that guides the way.
You never go past that part, do you?
That's the only part Ace knows.
I'm not crying anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, the war is over now, right?
That's right.
Well then, let's think about what comes next.
Next? We don't have a next.
But we're free to think about it. Sink.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Then let's think of a future. A big, happy future.
What should we do first? Any suggestions?
I want to invite Mother on a trip to Concordia and Milites.
Don't you think you've been to both of those places enough times on our campaigns?
We're not going there to fight. We're going there just for fun.
Oh.
Yeah, I like it. For once, we'll finally be able to take it easy. And so will Mother.
Then we're just gonna have to draw up a proper itinerary.
That's our class leader, always micromanaging.
Since when am I the class leader?
Okay. So what do we do when we get back from our trip?
Let's see. How about we study something else besides fighting?
What?
Huh?
More studying and tests?
Enough already, yo. But this time, it won't be about learning to use weapons or magic. So, what do we study? Is there anything that's not fighting?
Well, we could read fables about the founders of Orients. Or study all about how flowers bud and bloom. All we've ever known is war. We have so much left to learn.
Huh?
Does that even count as studying? Although, it does sound interesting.
Good, and then what do we do when we're done studying? What do we do way in the future?
Way in the future? Like how long?
How about like 10 years later?
Huh?
10 years, you say? I can't even imagine.
I'm sure that no matter what we do, it will be great as long as we're together.
Yeah, life would definitely be fun. I just know it.
Yes, I would agree with that.
But you never know what will happen in the future, right? So I think we should just stay in the moment. You know what I mean?
Oh. Is that why I heard you whisper that you never want to grow up?
Wait, what the hell?
'Cause then he couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. I never want to grow up, 'cause if I did, then I wouldn't be a Toys R Us kid. It makes sense.
I'm so glad. I'm not alone. Not at all.
And it's a happy ending for everyone. I didn't think this was gonna take me like 80 hours to get through. I want to be honest. I thought this was gonna be like, it's a portable game for the PSP, so I figured, you know, it's a JRPG. All right, 30, 40 hours, something like that. I didn't think it was gonna take this long to get through all this. What I will say off the bat is that final boss is super disappointing. Like, there are other bosses in the game that are a bit entertaining. That was not really a boss. That was just kind of like a quick time event, you know? You can't die. You just have to like time the like kill strike crit attacks, counters, whatever they were called. Crit strikes, crit sights or whatever. Kill sight was like the red one. And then you just needed to drain an orb and move on to the next character. So that's a little disappointing. As for a final boss, you usually want things to be epic and exciting. The music was epic and exciting, don't get me wrong. It was you had the chorus going on, the music, drums and shit. Oh, yeah, it was exciting music, but, you know, orchestra. But yeah, the fight itself was a little lame. It's a little lame. I don't think you could lose. You had haste on, you had protect, and you had regen, and no matter what, that guy couldn't kill you, it seemed. Like, I got hit a bunch and your health would drop really low, but then it starts refilling. I don't think he could kill you. I actually don't think he could kill you. So it's like a scripted event, sort of. I am not a huge fan of scripted events. There's a couple of moments in this game that are definitely scripted events where it's like, there's no way you're gonna win this, you have to lose, but the game never makes that, like, well known. You can tell that it's a portable game graphically. Like, they definitely redid the character models for the main characters. All the other characters, you could tell that they kind of like left alone, maybe touched up a little bit, but they didn't like redo the environments and stuff. Like, it would have been nice if at least they had like gone through and redone some of them, but they redid the characters so the like main playable character models looked nice. But it was a weird contrast to see them against like the PSP models versus like the newer models, because like the newer models have like nice textures and they look really smooth and their faces aren't like super pointy, and then you go and see like the NPCs and stuff like that and they look like they're from PlayStation 1. It's a little funny. It's a bit of a stark contrast between the models. That aside, I mean, you know, a game is... Graphics don't make the game. It's just a weird, stark contrast to have those. You know, for a PSP game, yeah, I think it still looks, you know, somewhat decent. This is like a weird and strange game as far as like how things are structured. You know, it's got a little bit of like that Persona to it where you have like a set amount of time between missions. You can talk to your classmates. You can see events. You can go out and do tasks for them. There is an overworld. You have a bunch of, there's like optional dungeons strewn throughout the world. You have towns and stuff. Wait, they all just die?
Hey! Wake up! Said, wake up! Please wake up!
So they were just comforting themselves. Why are Rem and Machina alive? They were turned into crystal by the Lassie. So I guess the assumption is they like sacrifice themselves to stop the cycle from repeating. Kind of unclear. It was weird.
A new time has come. To the weak and foolish, to those who endured, to those who made mistakes, to those who fought, a new day has dawned.
History left them behind. But we know them.
We are right here.
I don't understand why they died. Like, that's not clear. And then why Machina and Rem came back, because for all intents and purposes, they fought, they died, they turned into crystal because they were Lassie, and then... Alright, so that's just unexplained and sloppy storytelling. Sure. Oh no, they're dead, it's sad. Great. They gave their lives to stop the cycle from going over and over. So if you choose the bad ending path, so right at that final dungeon, there's two choices you can make in the final dungeon. You can become a Lassie, or you can choose to stay human. If you become a Lassie, you end up in an endless battle. Like, the game doesn't tell you that this is what's happening and this is the bad ending, but like it forces you. Like, you end up in an arena. And I fought there for like an hour this morning, and like, I was just like, oh, we gotta kill a bunch of enemies. No, it just keeps going and going and going and going. And so I was like, all right, so we die, and then a cutscene plays out, and it's game over. So you end up going down a bad ending. if you go Lassie. And if you go down, then if you choose the normal path, that's what allows you to do what we did tonight. If you stay human, stay immortal, then you go down the path that we went down, which was to, I guess, fight against fate, stop the crystal from like starting things over again. You know, you're bucking the system, going against fate, which then passed on the choice of Lassie to Rem, who she took it over, because I guess she was gonna die, so she was like, sure, I'll do it. You know, This reminds me kind of like Final Fantasy 16, though this waited a while. I thought we were just going to deal with like war and intrigue and stuff and not go down the like save the world through friendship and fight God at the end. I was kind of thinking like we weren't going to do that because, you know, it presented itself as that. And of course, because it's a JRPG, it has to do that. It's required to. It's a requirement. It's a requirement. Even with political intrigue, someone has to become God, and then you have to kill them to stop them from repeating the cycles over and over again. You have to destroy fate with your friendship. Kill God. Sure. Sure. Great. The story was at least entertaining. Up until that point, you had 4 warring nations, and you're kind of like child soldiers caught in the middle of it. And I like that. The ending's kind of stupid. But up until that point, you know, you've got like high fantasy with, you know, political intrigue. It was fun. Like I was enjoying the story. You know, who's gonna backstab who's going against, you know, certain ways and stuff. Like I enjoyed that. But yeah, that ending's kind of stupid. 99% stupid. The gameplay's interesting. You have a choice between 15 separate characters. That's a lot. And they tell you at the beginning of the game, you know, keep everybody leveled up. Well, we didn't do that. We focused on like 6 characters, and then 2 of those characters disappear at the end of the game, so if you had leveled them, they're just gone like we had. Good thing I had some other characters that were okay, decently leveled to like help us move us through that end game area, or else we would have been hosed. I thought it was a good idea. So Ace seemed like kind of the main character. Nobody really is the main character, but he's the one that you start out with. He's like the number 1, you know. So I figured he'd be a good one to focus on. And then the 2 new ones that get added to the class, which are Rem and Machina, they were outsiders, so to speak. And I thought to myself, well, those are good ones to focus on because story will probably focus heavily on them. Story does focus heavily on them, but they constantly like leave your party for different reasons and stuff. So it turned out, yeah, focusing on them was not the greatest idea. That's okay. But you have 15 members to focus on, which means you have a lot of different play styles at your disposal. So you can choose from a ton of different things of how like you want to play the game. Range fighters are a must. You cannot ignore range. You have to have them. You have to have someone that can do range. And not just magic. You need them to have like actual range. So there's like 3 or 4. There was Ace. There was Cater. There was Trey and King. So there were 4, I think. I think those were your 4 range fighters. Everybody else was a melee character. So you had 4 range fighters, and I definitely, once I realized you needed them, because there's flying enemies. You cannot attack flying enemies with melee characters. You can't. Though 7 kinda can. She has a whip extension move. And Cease might be able to with her like Scythe Tornado. That might hit enemies in the air. I'm not sure about that one. Some magic can also like be shot in the air, but the magic that shoots is not great. Super slow, and enemies that are flying usually are fast and will dodge your attacks. Especially if you're trying to get those like crits and kill sites and stuff, like those insta-kill things. You need some speedy things. You can't always be sitting next to a character for when those things pop up. So combat has like an interesting mechanic. You can hit enemies and cast magic and dodge out of the way and defend and cure, and enemies have your companions and yourself have abilities and stuff that you can unlock when you level up. There's certainly better characters than others. I find that Ace, like the range characters, were probably some of the better ones, and there were definitely better range characters than others. Some were a bit slower, which would make them harder. So what the gimmick to combat is that after certain actions the enemies takes, or before they're taking actions, you know, to the war's end, the light gradually faded from the four crystals, now bereft of their beacons of hope. The civilizations of Orients descended into an age of darkness and destruction. Cool. Yet in the midst of this chaos, a young man entreated the denizens of Orients to seek hope in the blessings of nature around them, to rebuild this broken world with their own hands and breathe life anew into the land. People turned to him as their new beacon of hope, the leader of their new Orients. That man's name was Makina Kunagiri. And at the age of 67, with a smile on his face and his loving wife at his side, he took one last look at the world he saved. Did he save it? I don't think he saved it. He was working for the bad guy. He was trying to stop everyone from saving the world. Makina was not the hero. I beg to differ, gang. He may have helped rebuild it. He may have had like a change of heart. I would say he's not the hero. 27 casualties. We got an A though. Platinum gloves. Auric hourglass. 700 enemies with catered. That would be a decent weapon if we probably didn't have something already better. Oracle's Codex. Seraphim score. Maybe those are good. Queen Summerwear. God, I swear when I look at that, I see swimwear. I don't know why my brain does that. Bad brain. New difficulty level Fini has been unlocked. You have discovered a hidden historical record. You have unlocked the hidden historical record Chapter of Truth. Okay, what's Chapter of Truth? All right, but I want to keep talking about. So combat, you would have like this yellow target pop up or a red target. The yellow target was a big crit hit and it would disable the enemy briefly, and then if it was red and you hit it, it instantly kill enemies. That's a cool mechanic, and combat's pretty snappy. Combat's a little clunky, but pretty snappy. Some characters definitely control better than others, like I think it was Jack. Jack had a katana and super slow. He would do one swing and he walked very slowly. But his one swing hit really hard. And then you would have characters like Cater who are insanely fast. She was the one with the magical gun. She moved extremely fast. So you have like two sides, like opposite sides of like speed and stuff like that. They're decent characters. Can we, yeah. So it doesn't keep calling back to the videos there. So combat's at least varied, and you can find 3 characters that will suit your playstyle decently. There are a ton of abilities that the characters use. We didn't even get into half of them. I just found some. Like I was just like reading through and seeing like which ones. When you level up, you get, I think it's AP points. I don't think it really matters what they're called. You get points that you can spend in sort of a skill tree. It's just like a list of items. And usually the more that you spend in the skill tree, the more that you'll unlock. Like they'll just be like, oh, you unlocked another ability. The only downside to that is sometimes you can't tell what's going to be passive and what isn't. So some things you unlock, they're very obvious that they're passive, but the further you go down the list, some of those things are passive and some of them aren't, but they all share like similar icons, so it's a little confusing. But they, like, every character has a bunch of abilities that you can unlock, and clearly some are better than others. Same with like characters and stuff, but there's so many play styles that you can play with in this game. That's cool and also intimidating, because a lot of the times you can't just like focus on a couple characters, you need to focus on a few, which just makes it hard to kind of like split your time with them. Aside from combat, you have these like simulation scenarios. Kind of reminded me a little bit of like the first Suikoden, because in like the first Suikoden you have like your combat and stuff, your recruiting characters, and then you had these like simulation battles. It was more like rock paper scissors, where you would just like you would have, you know, like a big boss fight, and then you would go in and you would fight against armies and you would clash against one another, and you know, you had to choose, you know, one of like 3 options. Would you charge, would you defend, would you do magic, would, you know, kind of thing. And you would counter what the enemy would do. It's not exactly what you had going on here. This was more of a simulation where you were like taking control of towns, but it just reminded me in the way that it was just like a very different kind of like fighting that you would do in the game. So in this one you have like a little bit of like a sim strategy thing where you have units. Certain units are strong against other units. So some units are strong at taking down troops and others are good at ransacking towns. And then you could, depending, sometimes you could control where you were sending units and other times you couldn't. When you can't control where the units are going, sometimes that does not benefit you. They'll go to a place where you're like, oh god, I need help over here, but you can't control that. Every once in a while you'll get like special missions, and when you complete those special missions, then you gain control and you can tell the troops where to go. But until then, they're just like doing whatever the computer wants, which is not great. But those are neat. They like interrupt the action, you know, they give you something else to do. And then once you sack like a town, you can go in and you can do like a mission on foot. It mixes things up nicely, and that's cool. In between missions, you have like time, and you have 12 hours to spend time. And every event that you do takes 2 hours. If you go talk to like a classmate of yours, if they have like an exclamation point above their head, you talk to them. Sometimes it's a voiced cutscene, sometimes it's just talking to the NPCs of the world. Sometimes they have like little side quests associated with them. And you'll get like a little reward for talking to them, but time ticks down. Then you also get tasks, which are like, you know, side quests. Most of those tasks require you to go out into the overworld. You also have expert tasks as well. The regular tasks, when you go out into the overworld, take 6 hours away from your time, your like downtime. The expert tasks take 12. You can combine a regular task of going into the overworld and an expert trial together, so then that it's only going to take 12 hours. It won't take, you know, 6 plus 12 into 18. It'll just take the 12 hours. So you kind of have like this management system going on here. Do you want to spend time with your classmates and learn about them and get items from them? Do you want to go out into the overworld, fight, you know, level up your characters, explore? There's also tasks you can do once you liberate towns through those like little simulation matches. You can go into towns, buy stuff like new equipment and shit. You can also do tasks for them as well, which can in turn unlock more stuff for you to do. It's cool. So you have to just like decide how you would best like to spend your time. You can also take classes from your teacher, and they'll give you small like stat increases, whether to your magic, your defense, your HP, your MP, your attack, whatever, what have you. It'll increase stuff. You know, you sit there and that'll take 2 hours off as well. So it's really up to you to decide how you want to spend your time. That also can be a little intimidating because you don't quite know what the most efficient way would be to spend your time. Like, am I going to miss out on things? Which we more than definitely missed out on stuff. There's also a bunch of hidden mechanics of stuff that they don't explain. Between the hours of 12 and 6, which means you can complete 3 events, or go out onto the overworld once. If you don't have an expert mission, that takes 6 hours. Once you lower it to 6, then a couple of other instances open up, and it changes a couple of the areas that you can visit, and you'll have some like unique things that can happen there too. So you have a lot of like small things that are happening throughout like your downtime that you have to decide how you want to spend that time. You can breed chocobos, which is cool. I have no idea what the benefit of breeding chocobos is. Like, they all had like different tiers of chocobos, and I have no idea what that does for you. No idea. They don't explain any of that. They don't ever tell you what the different chocobos do, if there is a benefit to getting better chocobos. Nothing. Nothing. But you can get better chocobos. There's some really involved side quests which seem to like take place through like the entirety of the game. It also seems like you can recruit other characters. There's some named NPCs in the world that you can talk to, and if you continue to talk with them and like participate in their events, it seems like they join your class. Like the woman that kept asking us for money, she like said, I've joined class 0. We had like a handful of people that like joined our class. And so when you go into combat, I think you have this option to get support from the academy, which means those characters I think can join your party. They might be super strong, they might not be, I have no idea. We kind of mixed it up, and that's what that SPP on the screen is, right next to where it says Gil on the save. There's SPP, and if you summon in those characters, they earn their own experience when they attack and kill enemies, and that total builds up, and it's cumulative. So the more that you acquire, there is an optional shop. So you unlock things in that SPP shop by killing with your character, like getting kills and getting kill sites, like those crits and insta kills. You unlock stuff in the SPP shop, so it does benefit you, and it's good stuff. So it does benefit you to like summoning characters, but you kind of have to weigh your options, because if you're summoning in those characters, that means your characters don't gain levels, they're not gaining experience. So you kind of have to weigh your options on what you want to do. They also have this interesting mechanic where you can go back and replay missions. You can go back and you can go, all right, I want SPP. So you'll go back and you can summon in, you know, the academy characters rather than yours, and you can go grind for that experience. Or you can repeat missions for money, or you can repeat missions for experience. There's a lot going on in this game. It's a lot more complicated than I would have thought. One thing that I had a big issue with, I don't like the fact that you can only take one request at a time. I wish you could do cumulative requests. Now, you can technically do multiple requests at one time, but it's just kind of like, you can find out like, hey, this person wants like 10 of this item. So you can go and, you know, find that item while you have, like, some characters will be like, hey, go kill like 6 of these creatures. So you can go out into the overworld, kill 6 of those creatures, but also go get that other item. And then when you get back to town, you can turn that item in. So you can kind of take some of them on at the same time, sort of. But if you have multiple people that need multiple things that require you to go out into the overworld that require like killing, then there's no way you can do them all at the same time. You have to do one at a time. You have to go out, come back in. And sometimes when you liberate a town, they'll have tasks as well, but you can't take those other tasks on in the town. You can only have one active at a time. So if you took one in the academy and you like liberate a town while you go out there, you won't be able to do anything for them. Granted, you can usually do those on mission day because they allow you into the open world. So you can usually accomplish those there. And the tasks that you do get expire on mission day. So you got to make sure that you have them done by then. The other thing was, you can't save on the overworld. And that just feels like such a waste of the player's time. It's so often that you get to a point in the game where you can only save in towns, but you still have to, like, if you take on a mission and you go to do that mission in the overworld and you fail, you got to go all the way back from your save point there. It would be really nice to like be able to save on the overworld. It's weird. Most games allow you to save on the overworld, and this one is just like, nah, just save in town. I wish you could. I wish you could, because there's instances where it would benefit you to be able to save. Like, if you have a mission that requires you to go into a cave, you could save right before that cave and not have to hoof it over to that cave, because it could take, 2 minutes to walk over that cave from your last save. And you would have to do that every time if you needed to go back into this cave if you ended up dying in there for whatever reason. It would just be nice. It would just be a really nice convenience, and it's weird that it's not part of the game. I don't understand why they didn't do that. Most of the time I can go, yeah, I get why they didn't implement this. I would still like it. It would be a nice quality of life. Speaking of the world map, another big issue I have with the world map itself is that they tell you the areas, but they don't tell you the towns. Sometimes it's nice, like, they'll be like, you need to go to this town, or this item is sold in this town that you need to go get, but you don't know where it is. And the map doesn't tell you what the names of the towns are. They'll give you, like, the province's name, like the area that you're in, but you have this map, but yet you can't see any of the towns. That's fucking stupid. You should be able to, like, click on the province, hit the A button, and it should list all the little towns and stuff that are in that area, so you know, oh, I need to go over here. Because sometimes it's like, well, I need to go to Rokal. I don't remember where that is. And there's no way to check. So if you don't remember where that is, you are literally going to have to wander the entire map to go to that place. That's fucking stupid. Like, you have an interactive world map. Why would you not put on the names of towns? Like, they have this nice little world map, fills the entire screen, and then you can scroll down to the different provinces and stuff that are there. You should be able to then select that province, and then it should tell you it should, like, zoom into the map and show you where those places are on the map, and show you that, and list which ones are in there. If that is possible to do, I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. That to me is a bad decision. That to me is genuinely a bad decision. More so than saving on the map. I would like to know where those towns and stuff are. That's silly. Caves and shit. You should have all that stuff labeled on the map. You should absolutely have all that stuff labeled on the map. You need to go to Bethnal Cave. Oh, I remember that. Where the hell is that? That should be listed. You've been there. That should pop up on the map as a reference point. I feel like that's kind of inexcusable for them to do that. It feels silly to do that. We were talking about it earlier. The voice acting's solid. I have no problem with the voice acting in this game. It's really good. They did a solid job. Some of the characters, God, some of the lines are delivered like at the end of the game when Machina was talking to the Lassie. She was like, "So, you really want to become a Lassie?" Dude, she was so unenthused. I love that. That made me giggle. That made me giggle hard. She was so unenthused when she delivered that line. It was funny. I thought the voice acting was solid. Hey, it's got Steve Blum. Can't be terrible, right? He was the bad guy. I think all the characters, and depending on like what character you have in your party, they all have unique lines. So when they're in a mission, those characters all have like their own unique lines that they add stuff to. Oh God. Speaking of missions, when you're on missions, people will chime in. Your characters will chime in, some other NPCs will chime in, but you have a Moogle that's giving you intel on the mission. And it's telling you like what your objectives and stuff are. There's so much voice dialogue in this game, and that's not voiced. The most important information coming in is the information of telling you what you're supposed to be doing and what you need to be doing. And all they do is go, "Kupo?" That's it. You're in the middle of combat. I hate this. This isn't the only game that's done this. Lots of games have done this that we've played on stream, where there'll be a dialogue box that's explaining things. I can't read and concentrate on combat at the same time. You need to have your focus. You can't split your focus like that. So it's such a weird decision that there's so much voice dialogue, especially within missions, and yet they wouldn't voice the most important shit. Like, the Moogle is telling you, there's a lot of dialogue for the Moogle, and so much of it is just, "Kupo? You're telling me that's where the budget ran out?" Everything else, like, there is voiced, and then the fucking Moogle is not voiced. Like, that is absurd. That's absurd. It's the most important information on missions because it's telling you what you're supposed to do, and they're interrupting it in the middle of combat, telling you what you're supposed to be doing. And I can't see any of it. Every once in a while I can glance away with a down second. But a lot of the missions are tough, and sometimes enemies will one or two shot you. You don't really have the opportunity to go, huh? Let me stop what I'm doing and pay attention to the dialogue on screen. Speaking of dialogue on screen, every once in a while the game will interrupt you with a dialogue box on screen, and it prevents you from doing anything, which is really bad. Because you'll be in the middle of a fight, and you're doing something, and someone's swinging at you, and a dialogue box will pop up, and you have to hit the A button to confirm out of there. There were times where I was just like, I'm trying to attack, and it just stopped in the middle of me attacking, and I'm like, why can't I attack? I'm trying to do something. It won't let you do it when that dialogue box is up there. That's horrible. That's horrible. Whoever thought that was a good idea is fucking stupid, because sometimes it happens literally in the middle of combat. Like, you'll walk towards something and a little tutorial box will pop up and like enemies are around you. You're like, I'm doing shit. Why would you stop me from doing shit? That's bad. There are some really rough choices. Combat aside, combat's entertaining. The camera can definitely get a little nauseating. Some enemies move really fast and the camera will try to follow them around and it'll just snap around like a drunk person. The camera can be a bit rough at times. The camera can be a bit rough at times. Rather than smoothly moving, it'll just be like here, especially if you're like next to an enemy. Dude, it's just going all over the place. It can be a little much. It can be a little much. I'm glad that the target doesn't let go. And you don't always have to have something targeted, but if you're trying to focus on a specific enemy, so there's like a bunch of standard enemies, and every once in a while you'll get like a general or a lieutenant or something like that, a commander, whatever, what have you. And if you take that enemy out, then all the other enemies stop attacking you, and you can actually get some unique items from like harvesting from those enemies that'll like surrender if you kill, like, you know, the commander. And so sometimes you do want to focus down on that, and yeah. Sometimes I had a little bit of issue like cycling through. Sometimes I had a little bit of an issue like cycling through. Like, it would like cycle between like one or two enemies and not a different one. Like, there'd be like 4 enemies and it'll just keep bouncing back between 2, and it's like, dude, I need you to focus on the other one. Sometimes it would go a little crazy. For the most part, it worked fine. The music's solid. There's definitely unique music for this game, but you can tell like there's music from other Final Fantasy games as well mixed in. I like that a lot. Like Battle from the Big Bridge when you're fighting I want to call him Gyobo. Who's the sword guy? He's got all like the Genji equipment and stuff like that. What's his name? He was in Final Fantasy VII Remake. He was like the big dude that you did all the Chadley stuff for. What the hell is his name? Gargamel. Final Fantasy Battle of Big Bridge. Enemy? What was his name? Gilgamesh. Gargamel. Same thing. Gilgamesh. I don't know why I can't remember that guy's name. I always forget Gilgamesh. It's an easy one for me to forget. I don't know why. Yeah. Yeah, you fight Gilgamesh. You fight Gilgamesh a few times. That's cool. I don't know if he would ever become a summon for you. That would be neat. But yeah, you fight Gilgamesh. That's neat. So there's some nods. You get a dude, I was so excited and happy when we found an airship. Like, one of the optional areas you can go into is the lost Silent Key. And if you go through the Silent Key and kill a bunch of the Iron Giants and Red Giants inside there, you go in and you find out that it's called the Setzer. And the captain of the ship was Setzer, and that's definitely a callback to Final Fantasy VI. That was kind of cool. I like that. I don't know if that's meant to, like, tie this game into the Final Fantasy VI universe, or if it's just supposed to be a head nod. I think it's just supposed to be a head nod. But that's cool. But that's definitely cool. But yeah, this may not be like the greatest game, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. If you like Final Fantasy and you like action games, I think this could be a lot of fun. You should have no shame looking at a guide for this game. I definitely look shit up. I usually don't look shit up, but there's a lot of complicated mechanics in this game, and some things aren't always clear about. They explain some things, but very loosely. But like, don't feel bad about looking at a guide. There's nothing wrong with that. When a game has like lots of like hidden things going on and unclear things about exactly how they want you to proceed, excuse me. Well, look at a guide. It's complicated. This game is definitely complicated. There's a bunch of stuff we didn't experience, and I'm not sure if I want to. We beat the game, but there's clearly more to it. There's clearly more to it, and I would like to know how we would go and figure more stuff out in this. So I'm not sure if I want to like do another playthrough and try to get more of the story. I think there is. I think there's like moments and stuff we could figure out. I don't know how you would do it. I don't know if like stuff is like unlocked after you beat the game and now you can go do stuff. I'm pretty sure the Tower of Agido is a big thing. I think that's something that they want you to do. We are nowhere near that. Now, what we could do is we did some cheating. There is a mechanic in this game that allows you to get some extra levels really quickly. So if you go to the arena, you can sit and train and fight enemies. That's cool. Or you can... What this really is used for is when you turn the game off, you send a character there. If you are in downtime, you know, the downtime between big missions, you could go to this person, you save, and then when time advances, your character gains experience. It's only for one character at a time, but your character gains experience, and if you're gone for 24 hours, they can get 3 or 4 levels, which is really cool. So we utilize that by advancing the computer, my computer's timer, and advancing time a day so we could get like extra experience and push character levels further ahead rather than grind. Thank God that exists, because grinding in this game is slow. Like a lot of JRPGs, it's slow. I think you do gain more experience from fighting enemies higher level than you, but I don't think it's that much of an increase. I think it's pitiful. I think it's like a pitiful amount of increase. I think you do get more experience, but I think it's a small amount of an increase in experience. So it doesn't really... In the long run, it probably benefits you, but overall, like, we fought like level 99 creatures in our 40s that I beat, and you would think, damn dude, if I fought a level 99 creature here, I should get like a couple levels off of it, and you don't. You get like a couple thousand experience. So it's not as much as you would hope that it would be. Like if you had a big level disparity and they have a mechanic, there are some games where if you beat enemies, like the big level disparity, and you beat an enemy at a higher level, they'll dump a shit ton of experience on you. They'll dump, like 10 levels on you, We've definitely played games like that where like I brought in a character who was like level 3 and we killed like a level 70 character and they're like 30 levels higher and you're like, yeah, experience. Cool. This game doesn't do that, which is unfortunate because that would be really dope. Because we fought some of those. We fought some like level 99, they were called landworms. And I took down 3 of them just with Ace. I also fought some like super Marlboros that were level 99 and we took those down too. He didn't even get a level. He killed all those things and he never got a level. Which is stupid. Which is really stupid. Your characters die in one hit if you get hit by them. That's another thing. The level disparity as far as damage is concerned is massive. If a character is like 3, 4, 5 levels below what the level of like the enemies are, you take huge amounts of damage. Huge. Normally you run into an enemy like 10 levels higher than you and you go, yeah, that'll be tough, but I can probably handle that. We're 21, he's 31. We can handle this, with a little bit of, gumption and elbow grease, a little haktua. We'll get through this and it'll be fine. If that enemy in this game that's 10 levels higher than you looks at you, you go, ah! You just just down. You're just down. He looked at me. I'm dead. Eye contact. I saw them and they were making babies in the closet and the baby looked at me. And I died. That happens in this, which I like it when you can go in and fight higher level enemies, but you have a chance against them. Because that would be a great way to like get your characters to level up and stuff. The way they do it in this game, not a huge fan of it. Not a huge fan of that. It's okay, but it's just not the biggest fan. Now, one of the things that you do get relatively early on is a magic spell called Avoid. And Avoid is great. Avoid is great. You equip Avoid, and I'm not quite sure exactly how it works, but you automatically dodge. So it's like your defensive move. You can have Block, Cure, Avoid. I'm sure that there are like a handful of other spells that you can equip in that slot. But Avoid is great. While you're doing certain actions, Avoid won't work. But I'm not sure what those... I think magic casting it won't work. While you're attacking, sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. While you're dodging, you're self-dodging. Sometimes it works and other times it doesn't. I'm not entirely sure how it works. It's a little confusing. A little confusing. But it's good. It's real good. It's one of the best abilities in the game. Like, it stops you from taking damage. It's dope as hell. It just means you have to give up your, like, healing slot. But you can have other characters that have healing on, you know. There's something I didn't really talk about, and it was something that we didn't focus on at all. And that was the Alto Crystarium, which is where you would go to level up your magic. All magic has like a bunch of different stats on it. Depending on the spell, you can have cast time, cost, and power, but you could also have like range, and I think there was one other one. So it depended on what the spell was. The gimmick is you go out into the field, you fight enemies, you kill enemies, and then you can absorb Phantoma. Phantoma is the currency that you use to level up your magic. When you level up your magic, you select one of those stats, and you use a set amount of Phantoma. One stat will go up, and another stat will decrease. It felt really imbalanced when you were leveling things up. One stat you could level up and you would go up by like +2, and the other one would go down by like -1 or 2. So you would get like a +3 here and a -2 here. And then if you tried to level up that other stat, you would get like, for that one that you had the +3 for, it would be a -2 and like a +4 down here. So you were going up increments of like 1 and 2 really slowly, and for the amount of Phantoma that it takes to level it up, it just didn't feel like it was worth it. You're going up 1 or 2 points in each one, and it just... You're using like... You can only hold 99 Phantoma at a time of a certain kind. So there's like 20, 30 different kinds of Phantoma that you can have, but you can only hold 99 at a time. Sometimes they cost like 30 and 40 to get one level in there, and you're only getting like 1 or 2 points. That to me doesn't feel worth it at all. So I just completely ignored it. I just completely ignored it. Magic is super strong in this game too. It's probably the strongest attacks that you have. I mean, maybe once you get like super high powered weapons, like we had some really powerful shit, but magic could do early on in the game, it was what was carrying us. Magic was like killing everything, and eventually we ended up finding some really powerful weapons in the Bethnal Cave. I don't know if they're the best in the game. I doubt it. But we farmed for some really good weapons there. And they seem to be like super duper helpful. But yeah. Yeah. The magic seemed really good. But it was something that I didn't mess with because I did not like that mechanic system. That to me feels like it needs to get like reworked and better balanced. I understand that they don't want you just to dump stats in and like push things up, but it just should be that. It just should be that. There's... But, I mean, this entire game is about weighing your options, so it makes sense that it exists in here. I just wish it was more simplified. I don't want to have to deal with like that back and forth stuff. That's just When something annoys me, I just go, and we're not going to deal with that. I just cut it out. But that's the entirety of the game. You're constantly like weighing choices and options. It's just another one that like they implemented a system into the game where you have to weigh your choice and options, like an actual system. That's cool. That's cool. But I just felt like, yeah, I'm gonna ignore the shit out of this. I don't have a plan on going forward with any of that. But the magic is super helpful. Magic is super helpful. Especially if you don't have a ranged character. If your character is a melee character, giving them a ranged ability is actually a good idea, you know? It seemed that Ice Bomb was probably the most powerful spell. Ice Bomb would send out like an AoE of an attack. Depending on how long you held down your attack button, you could charge it up so it would have like a bigger area of effect. And they also had a cast time, so if you hit, you know, the Y button initially, sometimes you had to charge it up briefly. Sometimes you could just tap the magic button and it would shoot something out. Other times you had to hold it down briefly. Other times you would have to hold it down a lot longer, so it depended on the spell. But through the Crystarium, you can power up cast time and it can go faster, but every spell had a bit of a charge up to it. But the basic level ice magic, the AoE, seemed to like wipe enemies out, and it can freeze them, which instantly kills them. So it was a really good spell. So we mainly stuck using that one. I put that on just about everybody. But you did have like a bunch of different fire attacks, lightning attacks. You had healing. There was poison and stuff. There was a ton, an absolute ton of different magic that you could use. Absolute ton. There's a lot going on in this game. Like I said, I did not think we were going to be spending 76 hours in this. I thought because it's a portable game, it was going to be 30 hours, 40 hours, your typical like JRPG length, from it kind of around that time in like I guess this was like the early 2010s, but portable games tend to be a bit shorter. That the reason why they're a bit shorter is because they're portable. You're not supposed to like log in hundreds of hours. Well, this one's unique. This one's unique. You definitely spend more time in this one. But I liked it. It's a good thumbs up. It's definitely better than, God, man, coming from... The reason why I played this was because we played Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles before this. And the difference between these two games... Granted, Crystal Chronicles came out, like 6 years before this. I think that came out in like 2005 or 6. This came out in like 2011. Time moves forward, but comparing those two games together, this is so much. Like, there was barely a story in Crystal Chronicles. The combat and the controls were not very good. It was cute. It was cute. It was cute. Both of the games are grindy though. This is definitely a grindy game, and Crystal Chronicles was a game that wanted you to grind as well. We didn't grind in that game, and we made our life a living hell because of that in that game, but this one definitely wanted you to. I definitely think that they set things up in a way that they want you to do multiple playthroughs of this game. That much was very clear from the start. That's a little frustrating running into things. Like, you're on your like second chapter, and they're like, you need to be level 72 to do this, and you're like, what the fuck? When we first discovered expert trials, we were on like level 10 and 11, and they were like they were 20 levels ahead of us, like 25 levels ahead of us. And I was like, oh, but I want to do these. I think I can manage them. There was one that we like spent like 3 or 4 hours trying to get through, and I kept dying on it. We eventually got it, but they definitely wanted you to do that in your second playthrough, not your first one. Definitely did. And there's a lot of examples in this game of that. You'll sometimes run into like optional dungeons and stuff like that, caves and shit, and the enemies are ludicrously higher level than you. Another complaint of mine is there, just about every mission that you went on, there was an enemy that they introduced that would one-shot your party. That was so much higher level than everyone. That kind of sucked. I did not like that. I will say that I did not enjoy that there were enemies within missions that could just wipe you out. That I wasn't a huge fan of. I did not exactly like that. That was rough, because you have a set amount of characters, and when you're only focusing on a handful of characters leveling them up, if those like high level characters that you have go down, then you're stuck with like the remnants that may not be as good. Maybe you didn't buy weapons for them. Maybe you don't have good accessories equipped on them. The only time that you can put accessories on people is when you're at a save crystal. The only time that you can level up character skill trees is when you're at a save crystal. So if you haven't been doing any of that stuff and keeping up with them, then you might be in the middle of a fight and you might be fucked. That happened to us a few times. But it also forces you to use other characters, and I would definitely try to complete missions. It wasn't until the end of the game that I was like, all right, let's restart, because there was no way we were getting through some of that end game stuff with the other characters that we hadn't leveled. Overall though, my critical thoughts aside, I enjoyed this game. I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun. More fun than I thought it was going to be. Like, I really liked this. I had a good time with it. I had a fun time. There are some things that I'll nitpick about and I like flat out didn't like, but those things aside, it's still a fun game. And what adds in this remaster, they added such a good, I never played the original, so I'm not sure some of the things that changed and stuff. I'm sure having a right analog stick, being able to like turn the camera super nice, because the PSP did not have a right analog stick, you know? It just had the left one and then face buttons and a D-pad, right? It had the left analog stick, a D-pad, and then it had face buttons and a left and a right button. So it's nice to have that like extra movement there, but they also added in a speed up, which speeds up your character. Everything else in the world remains the same speed, which is interesting. It's just your character that moves faster. And at first I kind of ignored it, but then maybe like halfway through the game, that's how we were just playing. We were just, because your characters move kind of slow, especially on the world map. You move at a snail's pace. So getting that 3 times, you can do normal time, 2 times, 3 times. And that 3 times, you're just vroom. You can catch chocobos easier. You can run away from... There's random encounters on the world map, but there are also like enemies on the world map, and the enemies that you see on the world map are insanely powerful, and they will fucking kill you, and you can't run from combat, which is another choice. I forgot about that until right now. You can't run from combat. There are items that you can purchase. They cost 2,000 gil. That's a lot in the game. You usually don't have much money in the game. When you finish missions, you get a grade, and based on your grade, that's how much money you'll get. So the higher your grade, the more money you'll get. So it depends on your time, how many casualties you have, and how much Phantoma you've taken from the enemy. So there's 3 things that they grade you on. If you get all A's, you get an S, and then if you get anything in between it, you know, slowly lowers it, or drastically lowers it. So it definitely behooves you to do well, but you can't run from enemies. Now, when you're on missions and in towns and stuff like that, in dungeons, that makes sense that you can't run away. But when you're on the world map, they definitely should give you a runaway option, because in dungeons and stuff, sometimes they like put up invisible walls and lock you in. Other times you can just run right through encounters and ignore them. So you can just run right through and run them back away from them. That's cool. But when you're on the world map and you're fighting things, they really should do that. You have to expend a really expensive item to get away from combat. That's not a great choice, I'm gonna be honest. That's not a great choice. You should have an ability to run away. So like save on the world map, run away, make Moogle talk in the middle of missions. Those are my big 3 things. Those are the things that I would really want the game to have. I think there might be 1 or 2 other things that I'm forgetting there that I complained about earlier, but those would be things. Oh, and towns and dungeons on the world map. That too, on the actual map. That too. Those would be big things that I would want to see in this game. But I liked it. It gets a big thumbs up. Apparently people did not receive this well, but I liked it. I thought it was fun. As a spin-off game, it's really dope. It's one of the better Final Fantasy spin-off games that I've played. I mean, to be honest, how many Final Fantasy spin-off? There's like Dissidia. Well, there's a ton of spin-off games. There's like the Theate Rhythm stuff. The Crystal Chronicles is its own series. I know that there's WiiWare titles, which I'm never going to play, that are like simulation games. I may check out some of the other Crystal Chronicle games. I've played Mystic Quest, but that was a really long time ago. But I kind of want to play that again. It's a super quick, short game. I remember renting that game, not renting, buying it. I remember buying it and then beating it over like a weekend and then going like, damn, that was quick. And when I say beat it over the weekend, when I was a kid, I did not spend time like this. Like, that game is like 6 hours long. I might be exaggerating, but it's very short. It's very short. It was like the Western way to introduce, you know, people to JRPGs. It was Western made. It was supposed to be simple. You know, it was supposed to be easy to like ease people into like the Final Fantasy style of more difficult JRPGs. So it was a very, very simple game. And after you've been playing JRPGs and then you go to the easy one, you're like, oh, this is a cute game though. I remember it being fun. But yeah, there's a bunch of spin-off games, and there are also a bunch of games that like came over from Japan that were different, like the oh god, like the Saga games, Romancing Saga games. I was gonna say Romancing Kingdom, and I was like, nope, that's not it. Romancing Saga games. Those were like the Game Boy games. They're like Final Fantasy Adventure. Final Fantasy what? Are they Final Fantasy Adventure? I have like 2 Game Boy games next to me. What was it called? Mortal Kombat 3, that's it. Legend. Final Fantasy Legend. But those weren't Final Fantasy games. Those were just like renamed. Like Final Fantasy Adventure is Seiken Densetsu, and Final Fantasy Legend, those are like the early Romancing Saga games. So I don't know if you would call those spin-offs or not. I doubt that you would. But there's a bunch of Final Fantasy spin-off games. But of the ones that I've played, this is definitely... This could have... If this came out for like the PS2, and it was like an actual mainline game, I think people would accept this one. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It doesn't follow along with like the standard Final Fantasy. Like, at the time that this came out, this was 2011, so this would have been, you know, where 13 was. So this was right in that transition period where Square was kind of like pushing their games more towards action. So it's probably better that it was a spin-off game than a mainline game, because Final Fantasy 13 is the last turn-based JRPG of Final Fantasy. As the last turn-based one. 14, well, 14's an MMO. I don't think you would call it... I don't know how you quantify MMO RPGs. They're just MMO. They're not turn-based. They're like... You have skills that charge up and then use those. I don't know that you would call that turn-based. But 15 and 16 definitely aren't. And 7. Those definitely aren't turn-based. The remake. Alright, I don't know, man. Let's at least see